Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Ever heard an Italian word and thought, hey, I think I know what this word means because we have a similar word in English. But then you slowly realize that in Italian, they don't have the same meaning, so it doesn't match your English translation. Yeah, I know. This can be a shock and this can create a lot of misunderstandings. So today we're diving into Italian words that look like the English version but have a different meaning. We call these I falsi amici, so false friends, okay? I think these are very important to learn because you could sound very strange if you misuse them, okay? I'm sure you can have a laugh at it, but you might not be too happy. You might be a little also cringe, and definitely you might sound off if you don't use them correctly. So I hope you learned something new and that you have a laugh with me in this video. Let's start with the first word. The word is confetti. Pronounce it like you would in Italian, confetti. Okay? So not confetti, there's no D, there's a T, confetti. If you've ever watched like an Italian wedding, maybe inside of a movie, or maybe you have actually been to an Italian wedding ceremony and the venue afterwards, you might have heard and have seen what confetti is. Okay? Confetti is not what you think in English is. So, confetti in English are the little cut out pieces of paper that you throw when you want to celebrate something. For Italians, confetti is candy. I might add delicious candy, I would say. So, this is what confetti for Italians look like. If, on the other hand, you want to actually mean the little paper cutouts, in Italian, the paper cutout is not confetti, but it's coriandoli. So, coriandoli, you can throw them out at carnival, for example, to celebrate carnival. But confetti for us are little desserts, little sweets, and they are usually hazelnuts or almonds covered with sugar, and they have a color outside. So the outer coating can be pink, yellow, green. It can be in many different colors. There is actually a specific color for each celebration. So usually white for weddings, but then you can add on your extra color or your color coding in the wedding. You can add on another color. Red is for graduation, and baby blue or baby pink is usually used for baptisms. They are really nice and they're lovely and delicious. Let's look at some examples to put these words into sentences. Alla festa di matrimonio c'erano tanti confetti da mangiare. Meaning, at the wedding party, there were a lot of confetti to eat. We actually have a word for this. At the end, we usually have a confettata, which is a big table with like 20 different types of confetti that you can taste and eat. And usually they give you little paper bags or like usually little paper bags where you can put inside the different choices of confetti and you can take them home and eat them. Amazing. So, coriandoli, you could say, ho lanciato i coriandoli per festeggiare carnevale. Okay, so remember, confetti, hard candy, coriandoli, the little paper cutouts. This next one is very important. Peperoni. Be careful, okay? Because if you're in Italy and you're ordering a pepperoni pizza, they're going to be like, what in the world is this person asking? So be sure to know that if you want a pizza with the spicy sausage salami on it, you're not going to ask for pepperoni, okay? Pepperoni with one P is bell peppers. If you want the spicy salami, you are going to call it salame piccante, okay? This is a very common misunderstanding. Make sure you understand this, otherwise you might not receive what you ordered. Okay? The spicy salami pizza actually has a name. So if you want to bypass all of these strange words and you want to be sure to get that, you can say vorrei una pizza alla diavola. The next word sounds innocent because it's the word latte. Latte means milk. In coffee shops outside of Italy, usually when you ordered a latte, with that pronunciation, you will usually get like an espresso with milk. So like a diluted espresso with milk, okay? In Italy, latte is simply milk. So the normal, plain, white, can be cold, can be hot, milk. So if you go into an Italian cafe and you order un latte, they will give you just plain milk, okay? So yeah, if you go with your children and the children want milk, you will ask, vorrei un latte per favore, but do not expect for them to give it to you with coffee inside, okay? If on the other hand, you want a coffee with milk, so a longer coffee with milk, you will ask for un caffè latte. The next one is a little bit of an expression. You know when you say al fresco? In Italian, al fresco could mean two things. So if in English you think of dining outside in a beautiful venue with a nice cool air in your hair and you're eating outside in a restaurant, do not think that that's the same thing in Italian because al fresco means in a cooler place, but it's like inside of a fridge. So if I want to say I have to put the wine bottle in a cooler place, I will say metto la bottiglia al fresco. So I usually put it in the fridge, or maybe if the weather is very cold outside, I put it outside of my window. But that doesn't mean that I'm eating outside. Be very careful because if you say that a person is al fresco, this can have a meaning that this person is in jail. So be careful how you use it. For example, Gianni dopo la rapina è stato al fresco per 2 anni. Okay? Compared to metto lo spumante al fresco. So the first one, the guy is in jail. The second one, you're putting in a cooler place the spumante that you want to drink. You can say also vado in giardino sotto le piante al fresco, okay? But do not associate it with you dining out in a nice place where it's a outside table at a restaurant, okay? The next one is the word scotch. In Italian, lo scotch is simply scotch tape. Yeah, we do also call the drink scotch, but if you tell a person, mi passi lo scotch, so can you pass me the scotch? For us, it's the scotch tape. So that's the first thing that an Italian thinks of when he or she hears the word scotch. Scotch whiskey is widely appreciated also in Italy, but it's not so common. It's not such a common word that you would hear every day. We probably use whiskey more than scotch, but for us, lo scotch is scotch tape. Now here we stole a word from English, il body. In Italy, il body is a one-piece garment, usually worn for dance, like I don't know, like a gymnastic leotard, or if you are always cold like me, I sometimes wear a body underneath my clothes to keep my belly nice and warm. So this is the photo for reference. This is what we call un body. On the other hand, if you're talking about the body, you would need the word il corpo. The next word is linked with soccer, okay? In the Italian soccer world, the coach is often called il mister. So this is a casual and affectionate way of calling the coach. So if you hear il mister, they're not calling out a person who is a male and he's out on the street and you're just randomly say, hey, mister, I need to tell you something. No, il mister in an Italian soccer team is the main coach, okay? So I'm sure the next time you hear an interview on TV and there's a soccer game, you might hear something like il mister mi ha aiutato durante la partita. So the coach helped me during the game, okay? The next one is very important if you live in Italy and or you are buying a house in Italy, and it's the word il box. Once again, we stole a word from English and we gave it another name. What does il box mean? I guess it is a box in the end because il box for us, it's the garage. So I guess it's a box to put your car inside. But it's very common to hear people say ho la macchina nel box. Il mio box è piccolo. You also have the option of saying garage. So ho la macchina in garage. But I think probably the most common word that you will also read if you're looking to buy a house and you're looking through the description, you will see box singolo, so one parking space. Box doppio, two parking spaces, okay? The next word drives me crazy because there's like a double-sided misunderstanding, and it's the word lo stage. Now, lo stage, once again, we are stealing words from other languages here. Lo stage for us Italians is an internship. So if you look at that word and you want to read it out in English, you're tempted to say the stage, lo stage. Be careful. Lo stage for us, it's an internship, so inside of a company or for any kind of future work experience. But if you need to use the word the stage, so inside of a theater, you need to use the word il palcoscenico. So this would be il palcoscenico, okay? It drives me crazy because also there is the misunderstanding vice versa. So like Italians not using correctly this English word. I know, it's very difficult, very difficult. So tell me, have you ever made a funny mistake with a false friend in Italy? I'm very curious to know all about it, so please tell me in the comments. We all make mistakes, but it's part of the learning journey, right? So sometimes we can also have a laugh and learn something in a nice, fun way. Hope you enjoyed this little short video, and I will see you next week. Un bacio. Ciao.